So we will understand what exactly is SAP certification, whether it is mandatory to do the SAP certification in order to get the SAP consultant job. What will be the total cost of doing the SAP certification? What is the pattern of SAP certification exam? How to register for SAP certification exam, and finally how to prepare for SAP certification. So these are the areas where we will be discussing in detail today. Let's start with what exactly is SAP certification. So see, if you are an individual and you want to become a SAP consultant, if you start learning today, for example, you got a training from one of the institute and now you are ready to start your career as a SAP consultant. So in order for the companies who are hiring you, how will they validate whether you are the right fit for them or not? One is obviously interview, but interview will come once your CV is selected. So once you send your CV to these companies, what they will verify whether you really know SAP or not. So they want some mechanism in which that particular thing is already verified by someone. So when you are doing SAP certification, it means SAP has already verified, SAP has already conducted the assessment for you, in which you were able to clear that assessment, and that is the reason you are certified, which means this will give an additional advantage for the companies who are looking into your CV. If they see that you are SAP certified, that will give them more confidence, right? That yes, you are the right fit and you are already being verified by SAP and you possess some of the SAP skills. Okay, but what exactly SAP verifies? So SAP verifies the candidate whether they possess the fundamental knowledge and proven skills in the area of SAP S/4HANA. So see, we are not saying you need to learn each and everything and you need to know each and everything. What you need to do is when you are going for any SAP course, see, SAP is a very vast thing. Okay, each and every module, there are n number of things in each and every module. You cannot learn each and everything in one go. And that is the reason SAP has designed a curriculum which is minimum requirement to become a SAP consultant. And that is already is part of the SAP certification exam. So within SAP certification exam, SAP got some curriculum based on which they will judge you whether you have that fundamental knowledge or not, right? So it is not like you will be expert after doing the SAP certification, but yes, you would be ready to jumpstart your career in SAP. Okay, that is the reason we are talking about the fundamental knowledge and not the expert level knowledge. So after this, what you will be able to do, so it is also going to test the candidate has a good overall understanding of the consultant profile. So whether you already know what exactly is a consultant and whether you have the knowledge which is practically required in the project. Definitely, in first few projects, you are always going to work under the guidance of the experienced consultant, right? So it is not like immediately after the certification, you will be given the project where you will be leading that particular area completely. Definitely not. Even if you are SAP certified, just now we said it is just a fundamental knowledge that you need in order to start your career. But once you start working on the projects, initially for few projects, you'll be working under the guidance of the experienced consultant. But yes, 3 years down the line, you may also get the project on your own, right? And it is definitely recommended. SAP certification is definitely recommended because it allows the consultants to know about the SAP projects, how to work on the SAP projects. Okay, so this certificate is the ideal starting point for professional career as a consultant. So this is definitely a recommended. I think the coming to the second point that we discussed, whether it is mandatory. Just now I told you it is recommended, but is it mandatory to get the SAP job? The answer is no. SAP certification is not mandatory, but it is highly recommended. Why? Because there are few companies who are only looking for SAP certified candidates. They're not willing to hire the consultants who are not certified. So for example, if you're going into the market and there are 100 opportunities available for SAP consultants, out of this 100, if 60 are saying we are only going to hire the certified candidates, then you are losing that 60 opportunities, right? And that is the reason it is always recommended to do the SAP certification, because it is going to have the highest probability of getting the jobs. Okay, if you are certified consultant, you will be having a good amount of probability to get a job calls and offers. Okay, and as I told you, some big companies, they hire only SAP certified candidates. So although it is not mandatory, but it is definitely recommended to do SAP certification. Next question is, what is the total cost? Because many times, even in the market today, if you ask someone what is the total cost of the certification, there are still some authorized institutes who are charging maybe 2.5 lakh Indian rupees, 3 lakh, 4 lakh. I heard these figures. But from maybe 3 to 4 years back, SAP has removed that criteria. Earlier, there was a criteria that if you want to do the SAP certification, you need a training from the authorized institutes. Now, since SAP has made the certification exam online, there is no such criteria and anyone can write the SAP certification exam by paying the certification fees. So you don't need to pay 2.5 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh to get trained in SAP and get certified. Okay, so what is the total cost? So total cost can be as low as 35,000. This includes the training cost also. Okay, so the total cost of getting certified can be between 35,000 to 80,000. Again, the amounts which I have entered, I included the training fees if you are taking the training from Gaurav Learning Solutions. But if you are taking the training from other institutes, maybe depending upon how much is the difference, that has to be adjusted. Now, how this calculation has been performed? Why there is a big range, 35,000 and 80,000? The reason is, out of this, 20,000 is the exam fee that you need to pay to SAP directly. Okay, so if you are willing to write the certification exam, the certification exam will cost you around 20,000 for a single attempt. Okay, so I'll tell you, there is other option also of 6 attempts, but I prefer my students to register for this exam, because if they follow my lectures properly, if they follow my videos properly, if they prepare the way which I'm going to tell you in this particular session, then definitely you don't need to unnecessarily go for 6 attempts. One attempt is enough to get certified. Now, apart from this 20,000, the remaining is the training cost. So we provide training cost with different modes. For example, you can go for classroom training with full-time internship, which we are starting in Pune. This is only for Pune-based candidates who can work from our office full-time. Okay, so for that, if you are going for this particular training, the fees is going to be approximately 60,000. So 60,000 this plus 20,000 this will become 80,000 is your total training plus certification cost. Similarly, if you are not from Pune, or if you are already working, you want to learn you want to go for the online training, which can be conducted only on weekends. In that case, you can go for online instructor-led training. The fees is approximately 35,000. So 35 plus 20, total 55,000 will be the cost for training and certification both. And the last option is, if you are even not available for the online training, you are busy with your schedule, you just want to learn on your own through the videos, so you can buy our self-paced video training, in which the entire content is same as what we cover in the online as well as classroom. It is completely in line with the SAP curriculum which SAP has provided for the certification. So if you want to go for that, the fees is approximately 15,000. So 15 plus 20. So this is a, you can see, cheapest way in which you can get SAP certified. Okay, don't think that it is the cheapest, it will not add any value. Definitely, I have seen many consultants who have gone through this approach, but this I think would be more preferable to someone who is having the basic understanding. Like if you are already working as a SAP FICO consultant and now maybe you are planning to go for SAP So you already got the overall understanding of how SAP works. And because you are already working in SAP, you will not find enough time to attend the online or classroom trainings. Then they can go for this one. But if you are completely beginner, if you are like starting your career just now into SAP, then definitely this would be a little bit difficult for you, because if you get stuck somewhere, or if you are having some doubts or clarifications, you need to wait for the weekend session. In the weekend, you will be able to clear your doubts, but again, you may need little bit additional effort to put in if you are going for the self-paced video. So if you are a fresher, I recommend you to go for online. If you are little bit experienced, you know the basics of SAP, then you can go for self-paced video training. Okay, so this is about the cost. Let's go to the next one. What is the pattern? Like whether you need to go to the test center to write the certification exam, is it going to be the descriptive or it is going to be MCQ? Is there a negative marking? Okay, so this type of questions we'll try to understand within this slide. So first of all, the SAP certification exam can be given online. There is no need to visit the test centers. You can write the exam from your home, from your office. It should be the silent place. There should be the closed room in which you are giving the exam, because on the other side there will be proctor who will be monitoring you. Okay, so you need to switch on your camera, you need to switch on your mic so that you can communicate with each other, and he will be monitoring you. So there should not be any movement from anyone other than you in the room. So those things has to be make sure before you register for the exam or before you schedule the exam. Exam can be scheduled as per your convenience. So this is 24/7. Even sitting now, if I decided that yes, I am ready to write the certification exam and I want to schedule my exam maybe after 5 to 6 hours, that is also possible. On the same day also you can schedule the exam. Once you have registered, once you paid to SAP for writing the certification exam, you can schedule your exam as per your convenience. And you will be getting 1 year of time to schedule your exam. Within this 1 year, you can schedule it anytime. Next is exam consists of 80 MCQ questions. So there are total 80 questions in the exam which needs to be answered in 3 hours of time, which is enough time according to me if you prepare well. Answering the question correctly results in 1 point. So if you answer the question correctly, you will get 1 point. And if you answer the question incorrectly, it will result in 0. This means there is no negative marking, right? There is no negative marking. So there is no sense in unanswering any question. Even if you feel 75% your answer is correct, it is good idea to answer that, because anyways if you don't answer you will lose a complete mark. So there is no negative marking. You can if you feel some of the questions you are not 100% sure but 80-90% sure, at least you need to take on that answer. One more important thing for multiple response questions. So there are sometimes SAP will ask you a question and out of 4 options they will clearly mention in the bracket that there are 3 correct answers. Okay, so there is a question and there are out of 4, 3 are the correct answers. So out of those 3 correct, you need to make sure that all the 3 answers that you are taking, those are correct. If any one answer is also wrong, you will lose an entire mark, right? So for multiple response questions, all the responses need to be correct in order to award 1 point. If you, let's say the question is in the bracket there are 3 correct answers, you answered 2 answers correctly and 1 answer was wrong, then you will lose a complete mark for that particular question. Okay, so this is how the exam pattern looks like. How to register for SAP certification exam? So these are the links through which you can register for SAP certification exam. I will be sharing this PDF with you so that you can after this session you can have this link with you. So CER 001, this is single attempt, 1 attempt, and CER 006 for those of you who don't want to stop here. After one exam you want to give another exam maybe, or if you are not 100% sure that you will be able to clear your exam in 1 attempt, you want multiple attempts, in that case you can go for CER 006. But as I told you, I definitely recommend you to go for this, but make sure that your preparation is completed. Okay, so then if you prepare it well, definitely you will be able to clear your exam in the first attempt itself. How to prepare, that is exactly what I'm going to talk about in my next slide. So let me just show you these 2 exams, CER 001 and CER 006. So you can see this is CER 006. If you just go to Google and or maybe just follow this link which I already given to you, it will take you to this particular page. Okay, you can see this is SAP certification exam, 6 attempts, and you can clearly see here a subscription to SAP certification exam. You will get 6 attempts for 12-month access. So within this 12 months, you can anytime schedule the 6 attempts. Okay, it is 24/7. As I told you, you can schedule your exam at any point in time. So if you are going with this approach, if you are going with CER 006, 6 attempts, it will cost you around 42,000 plus GST. So approximately 50,000 INR for 6 attempts. On the other hand, which I am recommending, CER 001, this will cost you 16,000 or 17,000 plus GST, around 18%, so around 20,000. Right? It is also giving you the 12-month of access. Within this 12 month, you can schedule your one attempt anytime, 24/7. Okay. Now, what are the important certification exams? Because this is the certification exam registration that you are doing. Once you get the access to this, you will be scheduling your exam on your own. Now, some of you are from FI, some of you are from MM, some of you are from ST, some of you are from some technical background, right? So, which exam you are going to schedule? So, once you get the access to this certification hub after paying the certification exam fees, you need to see which are the certifications available here. So, this also I have given you the link. This is a link to identify what is the list of certification exams available. So here you can see there are n number of certification exams available, out of which, depending upon which module you want to give the exam into, you need to select that exam. So for example, if you are from FICO, financial accounting, so you can see this is a certification exam for financial accounting version 1909. Now which version you should select? Normally I get this question also from my students. So when we are writing the exam, which version should we give? So it is always wise to go for the latest version. Okay, so for example, if you want to write a certification exam today, you should always go for the latest version, which is 2021. But it doesn't matter whether you go for 1909, 2020 or 2021, it will not make a major difference. So it is up to you. My recommendation is go with the latest one. Up to you if you feel that, okay, I have taken my training on 2020, or if I taken my training on 1909, let me go through this particular exam itself. That is also fine. That is not going to it is not going to make any difference, right? So this is for financial accounting. Same way, if you come down or maybe up, you'll be able to see for procurement. You can see this sourcing and procurement, which is nothing but MM. So MM also there are three versions: 1909, 2020 and 2021. Same way for sales also, you'll be able to see three options. So this is sales. Okay, so 1909, 2020 and 2021. Right, so you can decide which one you want to go for. These are the certification codes. Okay, once you get the access, you will be able to select your certification code and you will be able to decide on the date and time on which you want to write the exam. And at that particular time, you can just log in. There will be the proctor on the other side and you will be able to write the exam from your home. Okay, what the pattern, let me also show you the sample questions so that you get a feel of what kind of questions are asked in the exam. So in any of this exam, you will be able to see sample questions here. Okay, once you go for SAP this particular exam code, if you click on that exam code, you will be able to see some sample questions, view more, right? So if you can see exam is with 80 questions, this is a passing percentage. So for each exam, the passing percentages are different, but it is between maybe 60 to 68. Okay, so depending upon which exam you are giving, there are different passing percentage marks that you need to get. Let's go to the sample questions. Click on view more. So this is just to give you the feel of how exactly the exam will look like. All right, so these are the important guidelines to appear in the certification exam. Just click on continue. Okay, you can see this is a question. So this kind of questions will be asked. This is a question, and you can see it is clearly mentioned that there are two correct answers. You need to make sure that whatever two answers you are ticking, those are correct. If one is correct, one is wrong, you will lose entire mark, right? And for example, if you feel that, okay, this question I'm not able to answer now, I may need to come back to this question later on, what you can do is you can flag this particular question. Okay, you can skip this particular question as of now and you can move to the next one. Next question. Don't press submit. Once you say submit, this means you are willing to not write the answers to the subsequent questions. Okay, so mistakenly also, please don't submit your paper. If you submit your paper, you will be not asked to give the answer to the next questions. So keep on pressing next question. Okay, so this is question number 2. Again, you can see there are 2 correct answers to this question. So you need to make sure that whatever 2 correct answers, you need to tick that only. Let's go to the next one. Again 2. Here you can see there are 3 correct answers. Again 2. You can see this is the example of 1 correct answer. So which organizational assignment is required for the sales process? Right? So there is only one answer. If there is one answer, you will be getting this tick box. Not tick, sorry. What is this called as? Okay, anyways, forget about this. So this is how you will be able to radio button. Sorry, this is called as radio button. So in the radio button, you need to select one answer. And then if you want to see, this is not a correct answer. I'm just entering this just to show you the. So flag this question. If you want to flag this question, maybe you answered this question, but you are not 100% sure. You want to revisit this particular question, then you can click on this. And then you go to the assessment navigator to see how many questions are answered. So you can see we answered 1 question as of now. Maybe if I go to the next question, you will get a better feel. Yes. So you can see this green means you already answered the question, but this is flagged. And even the first question is flagged. And you have not answered any other question. So from here, you can directly go to the particular question, the flagged ones. You can spend little bit time, provide the answers. Again, I'm not writing, this is just to show you how exactly it works. I'm not taking the actual answers. And then if you feel that, okay, I'm done with this question, you can unflag this question. Okay, so this is how the exam will look like. This is how you are going to write the exam. So we understood there are 2 ways in which you can get the register for SAP certification. One is CER 001, which will allow you 1 attempt, and CER 006, which will allow you 6 attempts. Let's go to the next one. Now the most important thing, how to prepare for SAP certification exam. So definitely if you want to go for the SAP certification exam, obviously if you are completely new, if you are already experienced, you just want to go for the certification, then you can skip this 1 or 2 points. But if you are completely new, if you are working in some domain today, or maybe you are just passed out, in that case, if you want to start your career in SAP, the first thing that you should do is you have to take a proper training. Just registering for the training is not enough. You need to make sure that you are attending each and every session. Okay. If you miss a particular session, for example, you got some urgency, you were not able to attend the session, we also provide the recordings. So by going through the recordings, you'll be able to recap on what topics you have missed. And please make sure that you watch the recording before attending the next session. Go through the course material. We also provide some PDFs. We also provide some PPTs. There are important materials which is provided. Please make sure that you also go through those PDFs. You also need to go through the important certification questions which we have provided. Obviously, this is only applicable to those guys who are already our students who registered for Gaurav Learning Solutions. But yes, even if you register in future, you'll be getting the access to the important course materials as well as some important certification exam questions, which will help you to prepare for the certification exam. And if you follow them properly, you'll be able to clear your exam in the single attempt itself. So let me show you that particular documents. So you can see for FI, you'll be getting the access to this shared folder. So if you are registering for the professional level exam, then this is the folder. But if you are a completely beginner, then you will be getting the access to this associate level program. Okay, so you can see these are some of the standard documents which we are providing along with the important certification questions. You can see copy of SAP certification important questions. Along with this, there is another important set of questions that we have introduced. Let me just copy this also into this one. Okay, so this folder you'll be getting the access to. In this folder, there are 2 important files which are a list of some important SAP questions. Okay, so you need to make sure that before you appear in the certification exam, you are already gone through these 2 documents, which will give you a lot of confidence, because many times same questions appears in the certification exam also. So I'm not saying this is dumb, that will be the wrong way, But what I mean to say is, if you prepare this well, you may find that more than 50-60% of the questions are as it is coming from the sample questions. Okay, so please make sure before you go for the certification exam, just go for these two PDFs if you are from FI. Similarly, for other modules, for SD also, you'll be getting the access to this documents. So you can see for each course, as for 650, there are some important questions. As for 620, again, there are some important questions. And towards the end, there is a consolidated list of all the questions which can appear in the certification exam. So please make sure that you go through these questions before going for the SAP exam. Okay. If you are already registered with us and you don't have this access available, you can mail us so that we can provide you this access. Okay, same goes for MM also. So within MM also, you will be able to see a list of important PDFs along with the questions, important questions. So you can see these are the important questions related to different subcomponents of SAP MM, and then towards the end, there is one important certification questions for MM. Okay, so please make sure this is very important. Without going through this sample questions, please don't attempt the certification exam, because you don't know what will be the look and feel of the exam. If you go through these questions, you will get a lot of confidence. As I told you, more than maybe 50 to 60% of the questions will appear as it is, which will definitely help you in cracking your certification exam in one attempt itself. Okay, last thing before I close this session, please understand certification is not the end goal. Okay, so many times when you register for the course, once you get certified, you feel that okay, now I am certified, now I will get a very handsome job, I will earn a lot because I'm a certified SAP consultant. That is something which is wrong, because many times if you follow LinkedIn, you will find I got certified 2 years back, but still I'm struggling to get a job. There is a reason for that. Certification is not the end goal. Even if you get hundreds of calls just because you are certified, once you appear in the interview, they are not going to ask you anything related to certification. They are going to ask you the actual things that you have done in the system. And if you are not able to answer those basic questions, then there is no point of certification. Because what is happening in the market, people are just buying the dumps. The dumps are available everywhere now. Dumps means same questions which will come in the exam. Okay, they are not even going for any course, they are not even going to practice anything in the system, and they feel once we are certified we will easily get a job. That is not the case at all. Certification, as I told you, is the first step to enter into the SAP consulting, right? So it is just to get the job calls. Once you got a call, once you appear in the interview, definitely the interviewer is asking you the practical questions, and you'll be only able to answer those questions if you have followed the sessions properly, if you have practiced in the system, right? So make sure that you are not in this myth that once I complete the certification, everything is done. No, it is just a starting point, and it is not enough to get the job. So with certification, you can get the interview calls, but in order to perform well in the interviews, you need to understand all the concepts in detail. How you will be able to do that? It is only possible through attending all the sessions, going through the recordings, and you need a good amount of practice in the system. There is no other shortcut. Okay, so with this, I hope now you have a clear idea what exactly is SAP certification, whether it is mandatory, how to register, how to prepare, and whether that is enough to get the job. Thank you for now. Bye.